Manufacturing output rebounded in May. Production lifted by 0.5% year-on-year during the period, defying market expectations of a decline of 1.4%. This after falling by a revised 6.4% in April. The largest positive contribution to the print was made by the basic iron and steel, non-ferrous metal products and machinery division. On a month-on-month basis, output rose by 2%. Looking ahead, Kevin Lings, chief economist at Stanlib, says it's not clear if these gains will be sustained. Sticking with the manufacturing sector, the largest negative contribution to that May print came from the motor vehicle division. The National Consumer Commission, in the meantime, notes the recent rise in motor vehicle recalls. Since January, thousands of cars have been recalled due to safety concerns. This trend brings the manufacturing standards and testing of the country's consumer protection regime into question. The expanding recall roster includes industry majors Toyota and Volkswagen. Added to the list, Volvo, Mercedes-Benz and Stellantis have also asked consumers to return certain vehicles due to defects. Southern Palladium is set to accelerate the development of its Bengwenyama PGM project. This after an optimized pre-feasibility study mapped out a new staged development plan that will allow the miner to do so. The study reveals that upfront capital costs for the project can be cut by 38%, while valuing the overall project at nearly 16 billion rand on a 100% post-tax basis. It has a forecasted internal rate of return of 26.4%. PGM production will take place in two stages. That's at a rate of 100,000 tons per year, which will expand to 200,000 tons after 4 years over the mine's 20-year lifespan. Griffith has resigned as CEO of Vanta Base Metals after less than 2 years at the helm. His departure comes amid a report by Viceroy in which the short seller claims that the Indian mining conglomerate poses an underappreciated risk to creditors. This resignation marks the second time that Griffith, a previous long-serving CEO of Amplats, now Valterra Platinum, leaves his post as mining head after a short stint. Griffith also left Goldfields in under 2 years, post failing to secure the Yamana gold deal. Stats SA reports a 0.4% month-on-month rise in the residential property price index in February. During the period, property price inflation was at 5.2%. In terms of a forward look, the latest FNB property barometer in the meantime shows a modest cooling in the industry in the second quarter. The overall activity index dipped to 5.9 from 6.3, signaling a softening in market momentum. But the affordable housing segment, that's properties under 750,000 rand, remains the most resilient, supported by rate-sensitive buyers and limited supply. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump's 30% tariff on South African exports is set to deal an economic blow to a community he has vocally and controversially championed. Here's more detail in this package report.
In his second term, U.S. President Donald Trump has vocally and controversially championed white South Africans. Citing false claims that they are being persecuted in South Africa, Trump has cut aid to the country and invited Afrikaners, descendants of early European settlers, to come to the United States as refugees. But now, Trump's threatened 30% tariff on South African exports could deal a blow to that same community. Christian Moten is a sixth-generation farmer in Western Cape Province's citrus heartland.
It makes sense for us to welcome South African farmers in America, and then the rest that stays behind that wants to secure food security, to punish them for not going to America.
After a 3-month pause, Trump escalated his trade war on Monday, targeting over a dozen countries including South Africa, with steep so-called reciprocal tariffs effective August 1st. The White House said the measures are aimed at addressing what Trump called unfair trade imbalances. With 3/4 of South Africa's freehold land white-owned, white farmers will be among those to face the immediate economic fallout. The country is the world's second-largest exporter of citrus fruit, after Spain, and while the United States accounts for only 6% of South Africa's citrus exports, some farming areas produced specifically for the U.S. market.
Farmers will go bankrupt. For sure, there would be job losses within our sector. So the impact is enormous. I don't even want to think about it.
Gary Nell is the managing director of a citrus company with a warehouse not far from Moton's farm. He's holding out hope that a deal can be done between the two countries to minimize the negative impact on farmers.
I think there would be a solution that we can create with the American government to ensure that we continue expanding the trading environment within South Africa and the USA.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has said trade talks with Washington will continue. He has argued that the 30% rate was based on an inaccurate understanding of the two countries' trade.